What's happening, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm CJ with CJ the Car Nut, and I appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out the videos that I've been making for you guys. Really had a good time trying to do my 0 to 60, and I'm sure hopefully everybody enjoyed some of those. Looks like I've got a little work to do, and I'm trying to lower those times and knock a couple seconds off of them, but I'm gonna keep going and keep shooting and see what happens. So after my review video, I figured I would try to bring another video. Hate to be like every other YouTuber out there, but one of the things I want to do is come at you guys with the top 10 things that I dislike about my M550. So you know, there's definitely a couple things that are kind of annoying, kind of like that draggy app. But you know, things that I don't know what they were thinking when they didn't put them in the car, or they put them where they did, or whatever. They just kind of made some things a little bit inconvenient, and that's why I figure I'm gonna bring you guys some top 10 things that I dislike. Notice I don't say hate, because I don't know how you can hate anything in this car. The only thing that I think that I hate about this car for real is that it's not an M5. But I mean, what do you get for an extra 30 grand? More maintenance, higher costs, insurance, parts, a whole bunch of other stuff comes along with the headache. So so stay tuned. We're gonna bring you guys some more information here, and like always, I appreciate you checking out the channel. Do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see if we can possibly get over 100 this weekend. So guys, help me out, and thanks for watching. All right, so number one is the USB placement down by the cup holders in the front of the console. If you have a phone or some cups or water bottle, anything that you're drinking down there, that USB port is going to be basically useless, especially the position, the way that it is, sticking straight up. I can see somebody reaching for something and bending or breaking the USB port. So it's really not a good spot to be. The one in the console is a little bit better, in the center console one here, but to have it down there pretty much makes it useless. Here's this lovely USB. Makes it so convenient. You know, it makes that tray basically useless right now. You can definitely charge something in a pinch, but you're in trouble. You can see that it sits straight up, so if someone were to accidentally hit that or whatever, they're gonna snap it right off. So number two, while we're down there talking about the USB port, we might as well talk about that charging mat. I love the fact that it has a charging mat, but I hate where it's located. I've got an XS Max, so it's on the larger side for as far as phones go, and I have to really push it down flat to get a charge. And then if there's something plugged into the USB, where I've got a water bottle or something in the cup holder, it's next to impossible to get out. Not only that, when there's nothing there, I have to actually pry my fingertips underneath the phone and kind of pop it up. So the charging mat, although a great feature, and I do love it, in a bad spot and very difficult to get to. All right, now let's say somebody needs to charge something, and I need to get my phone in here to charge it. Well, that's not gonna work, so therefore that's useless. And let me put my monstrosity of a phone in here, and I have to really push down on it to actually get it to charge. And then once it does fit in there nicely and I'm leaving, it's next to impossible to get up. So let me pry my fingers under there to pull it out. So number three, while we're down there with the USB and the charging mat, those cup holders, if you actually use something that fits into them, they work great. It's a little bit hard to try to get things into in the beginning, you know, when you're trying to really push them in. I've had water bottles that are too big and will never fit. I've had some bigger cups, like big Yetis, that I have a tough time trying to get them into. They're good, like I said, if you can get something in there to fit. And if you have two next to each other that are roughly the same size, it makes it a little bit difficult. I would have liked to seen them a little bit bigger. Well, now we'll go to these front cup holders. You know, they're great. Obviously you need cup holders in the car, but let me try to put something in there. All right, perfect. Nice and small, fits in there pretty good. Let me get my other Yeti. Sorry, big Yeti, no. Little Yeti, yes. So no dice with that. Now let's say need a tumbler. All right, tumbler, yes. Big Yeti, no. Little Yeti, yes. So perfect. I need to charge my phone. How do I? Oh, sorry, that's not gonna work. Oh, let me try to get my USB cable in here. No, not gonna work either. Just too cluttered, too small, not well thought out. Now on to number 4. Number 4, it could probably be a toss-up, but I have the upgraded Harman Kardon stereo, and it sounds okay, but it doesn't sound great. I find myself trying to mess with the equalizer and, you know, pull the trebles down and the highs and the lows, messing with them depending on what I'm listening to. And I know that's kind of like a little nitpicky thing, but I just think for a stereo of this caliber, not to mention I've heard even worse things about the upgrade on top of this, but for this stereo I feel like it should just produce more sound. It should have a little bit more depth to it. You know, and they make an amplifier that costs almost $1,000 to try to tune these stereos a little bit better. So I'm kind of disappointed in how the stereo sounds. All right, halfway through the list at number 5, Cinco. One of the features that I find myself showing people to let them know or show them how cool the car is, yet I never use it, or if I try to use it, I'm rushed and it's next to impossible and it never seems to work right, is this self-parking feature for you know, reversing into a spot or parallel parking. I've never gotten a chance to actually test the parallel parking, but the 10 times that I've purposely tried to back into a spot, it either goes right by the spot, doesn't see it, it either goes way past the spot before it sees it, or it just doesn't work at all. And the other time I got somebody coming up my butt trying to get into a spot, or not knowing that I'm trying to park, and you have to turn it off and go pull into a regular spot anyway. So my daughter thought it was real cool, some friends thought it was really cool, but the usability of it is okay. So we're over the hump. Coming in at number 6 has to do with one of the safety features. You know, obviously safety features are great and they're there for a reason and they're good to have. However, the thing that drove me absolutely crazy from the moment I drove this car home was the lane departure warning, and specifically the steering wheel intervention. I felt like Hercules was in the passenger seat grabbing the wheel to try to yank it back into the lane I was in when I was trying to pass somebody or get into the lane to go. Not to mention the vibration of the steering wheel. I do kind of like that a little bit. It's a little annoying, but I've turned it down, you know, on the very, very lowest setting, so I still get a little bit of vibration, but have turned off that steering wheel intervention. Man, that's brutal. I don't see how anybody would enjoy driving with that on. period. So I know that's probably going to be hard to see, especially with the reflection of my ugly mug in there, but you can see I've got my lane departure warning set as reduced and my steering intervention set to be off, because man, I don't need Hercules trying to get me back into the other lane. All right, coming up with number 7. This one I've seen a lot of people talk about on the forums and on some of the Facebook groups, but I don't understand why when you turn the car off and you get out of it in the garage and you don't lock it, why the radio and all the lights stay on. That's gotta be the weirdest feature to me. I see no reason to have that. But I can remember the first time one of the first times I had it, I ran back out in the garage to get something, and I see all the ambient lighting on in the car because the garage is dark and my radio's on, and I'm like, what in the world is going on here? So, you know, it's like some of the things that I've read and people that I talk to is like you have to do the hokey pokey to get this thing to go off. You know, it's leave your seatbelt on, turn the car off before you take your seatbelt off. Leave your seatbelt on, open the door, then turn the car off. It's like, man, there's 10 different things to do it. My preferred way, because it's nice and easy, as soon as I get out of the car, I lock it now, even if it's in the garage. So as soon as you lock it, everything goes off. And as a little added bonus, I love the way that the mirrors fold in, you know, because I have that set up. It was when I locked the car, my mirrors fold in. So it looks cool, and then everything goes off. But I don't understand why that happens. Okay, on to number 9. Number 9. This is just a personal preference. Being in IT, I love the way that technology works, and I love the way that apps work. And since I've gotten this car, this connected app has driven me crazy. It had never worked for the first 2 or 3 weeks that I had the car. It kept thinking it was up at the dealership, trying to every time I tried to locate it, every time I tried to send a lock or a command to it, it failed. Did a hard reset as one of my earlier videos, and that seemed to, you know, work fine for about 3 weeks. Then all of a sudden, after a trip, I got back in the car and it wouldn't update again, and it was stuck 400 miles away. So it just never seems to work right. The forum seems like this is an issue going back to, you know, 2016, 2017. But BMW, figure out how to get your Connect app to work. Okay, and the last one, number 10. Being in Florida, it is extremely hot and humid in the summertime, and it would be such a benefit if this car had remote start. I don't understand what's so hard about that. You send a remote start command, you start the car, the air conditioning's on, you get in it 10 minutes later, and you're in heaven. You know, instead of going out, starting the car, sweating to death, going back inside, waiting for it to cool down. I can only imagine the same thing up in the north. You know, you want to turn your heat on, so start the car. No, you got to run out, start the car, turn the heat on, run back inside. I understand now that some of the cars are starting to come with it. A highly optioned M550, no remote start. Go figure. Who thought of that one? All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed all 10 things that I dislike about the M550. But we all know, to be honest with you, it's pretty tough to really dislike too much about this car. That was just being pretty nitpicky about some of the little things. But other than that, guys, I appreciate you watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you can be alerted to the next video that I drop, which will probably be the 10 things that I love about this car. So like always, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. And till next time.